American half pound, 2 pure beef patties, lettuce, tomato.
Singles going steady.
This is Singles Going Steady, a podcast dedicated to the
Excuse me, pardon me. Don't mind me.
This is Singles Going Steady, the podcast dedicated to exploring great singles with a particular eye to the punk, new wave, and DIY eras of the last century. I'm Adrienne Meddock.
I'm Steve McGowan. Anybody got a lozenge? We're in a band.
We are.
The Beef People.
We are not in professional broadcasting
Obviously
school.
not. Who released a single in 1986 on our own label, and we've reactivated our label, Zub Records. We are record collectors, and we're passionate, especially about lozenges and the expression of pop music perfection that is the single recording. Exploring the mystery of what makes for a great single is what propelled us to begin this podcast.
And today we have a particularly mysterious single,
Yes.
right? It's a wonderful single, and it's a group that we have very little knowledge about, but we just adore the single.
Yes, we do.
And it is the Erector Set, which was a band out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and the single is called Inside Out. The A-side is Inside Out.
And this is Singles Going Steady, number 074.
It is 074.
Erector Set from Cincinnati, Inside Out. So let's tell them the little bit we know. We know they're from Cincinnati. They were pretty much considered a ska band, I guess.
Right. And, you know, they definitely were in that two-tone
Onslaught.
mold. Local band, you know, the little bit that we've been able to find out is they were perennials in Cincinnati.
Right.
Similar, you know, we had a recent podcast on the Pressure Boys.
Yes.
Sort of a similar profile in that they had lots of great local gigs opening for national tours, sort of like known as, you know, the local band in Cincinnati.
Right.
They did tour out, and I saw them. They came through the Cat's Cradle in Chapel Hill.
Right.
I saw them. I adored them. They were fantastic. I can't remember if I got the single before I saw them or after I saw them. But they were a great band, and I believe I caught them as one of the opening acts, as you know, for the huge club in Cincinnati, Bogarts, where I saw Squeeze.
Awesome.
And you know, I knew one band in Cincinnati, and I'll be
they were
darned,
playing.
they
Right.
opened, right? Yeah, so they were just high energy, super proficient, great vocalist, great instrumentation, good originals, good bones. I mean, it's what you would want from like your best band,
Hometown band.
Hometown band.
Yeah. Good. We know that they put out a single. The single we're talking about, this was from 1981, independently put out on their own, I think it's called Erectus Productions record label.
Because they're the Erector Set.
Yes, and then later, the next year in 82, they put out a fine EP called Imitation of Life.
Yeah, that's a
with
good,
5 songs
solid,
on it, I think. Yeah, but this we're going to discuss the single. It's called Inside Out. It's fun. It's infectious. It's the kind of song that when you hear it, you're like, I think I want to go see this band and go have a good time. And should we play it?
Yeah, let's play it.
Okay. So from 1981, the mysterious Erector Set from Cincinnati and their wonderful single, Inside Out.
So that really, when we were talking about groups that we wanted to talk about, singles we wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Even though we don't know much about this band, I think we both own the entirety of
Yes,
their output,
we
with
do.
that single and that EP. This is one of those things, then as now, we were living in different states, and I was like, "You've got to hear this.
Right.
This is great." And
it used to get played. That EP especially got played all the time.
played the EP, played the single.
Yeah,
They're just infectious. They were on mixtapes. Our mixtapes.
Right.
But what a great band. I mean, they really, what makes for a great single, that it's singable, that it's danceable, that it's infectious, that it makes you want to hear it again. It's got all those things. I mean, I think this is a solid, really good, great single.
It has that great kind of upstroked guitar riff,
Right.
but it's a little grungier sounding than it's not like totally clean. It's got a little garage rock to it, which I really like. And the singer, his name is Rick Beatty.
What a
very
great
good.
singer.
Yeah.
What a great singer.
Very good singer.
They were just, they weren't hackneyed. You seen them, I guess I saw them twice live.
Right.
I don't remember if I saw them when they came back on the EP tour. But, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But, they were just a really proficient, but not a studied band.
Yeah.
They nothing was by the numbers. I mean, they were just good. They were there to have a good time and to share in the good time with us.
Yeah.
There's very little out there on the net about them. I did see a review of a college show that
Right.
they played, and it talked about they played 3 sets. I mean, it's that kind of group that they seem to love playing. They
weren't afraid to play covers, but
Right.
but they had tons of original material as well.
and stuff that they made their own.
Right.
But they weren't. They weren't sticks in the mud about like we are a ska band. This was
Right,
the
right.
ska version of
Yeah.
I shot the sheriff.
Yeah, because it mentions in the review them playing a lot of rhythm and blues.
Yeah, I think that might be Midwestern code for there's an African American gentleman in the band.
Right, exactly.
Unfortunately.
So the
So
music
he's got that
was
great
good, obviously.
voice.
Yeah.
He's got a great voice, so maybe
Super good. So we basically told you everything we know about the Erector Set and that we like them. And Adrienne got to see them a couple times. And we'd like to put the bulletin out. If you know anybody from the Erector Set, or if you were in the Erector Set, please drop us a line so we can.
If you saw the Erector Set, I mean, they were just. I really enjoyed them, and we're still talking about them. You know,
all these years later.
40 years later, or almost 40 years later, still talking about
listening to the music and loving it.
Yeah, just what a great band. So if you've got a chance, I don't think there are many of these records that are out there.
Didn't we read that there were only 2,000 of the
2,000 pressed of the EP, right?
And we have 2 of them.
right. So there aren't that many out there for you to grab up. I don't think.
They were on a couple of compilations. There's a Cincinnati compilation they were on. This song is on it, I believe.
And they got some national attention. I mean, they were on a Trouser Press.
Trouser Press, which was a big
compilation.
deal.
Yeah, it's definitely a big deal. That's
That's one of the things that helped break REM.
That's the seal of approval, right?
Right.
For an independent band coming up in the early '80s, having the eye of the Trouser Press was a big deal.
All right, the Erector Set. So, can we hear, Adrienne, anybody covering the Erector Set?
Boy, it's hard to think that it's kind of joie de vivre, and just enthusiasm. It's hard for me to hear someone else doing it.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
The only thing I could think of, and it may seem a little trite, but we have just done the podcast about them. I think the Pressure Boys could have given it a good try.
Oh, yeah. And I just thought of something, like I was thinking about exuberance, and maybe something like the Joe Boxers, right?
Yes, right.
Where you've got
got lucky.
Yeah, but it's got that same sort of infectious
happiness,
right? And there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah, I agree. It's good positive stuff.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you about recommendations. I think I know what you're going to recommend, and so I'm going to hitch my wagon to yours on this one.
Okay. So my family's from Southern Ohio, and I was born in Oxford, Ohio, and my parents just as college kids went to Cincinnati every time they could. And Cincinnati is
the big city, right?
Yeah, the big city, the Queen City of the West, and Cincinnati is a really interesting town, and it had a great deal of success at an architecturally important time.
Yes.
And my interest in design and architecture really grew out of my love of Art Deco. And Cincinnati is the place. There's the Carew Towers. There's a spectacular Art Deco hotel.
Right.
And the
jewel in the crown.
The jewel in the crown is the Union Terminal, the train station.
Right.
1931. It's just the most. It might be my favorite building in the world.
Yeah.
It's a half dome. It's you may, if you're familiar with the Hall of Justice from the 1970s,
Comic
Justice
books.
League
It's kind
cartoon.
of what it looks like. Yeah.
There's a reason they based the Hall of Justice on the Union Terminal. It's not a coincidence, and that's because it really is. It's got that American can-do, aspirational. It's really it's a hall to people moving to westward expansion.
This is a place with all the murals in it, right?
Oh, it's got
I remember
spectacular.
we went there many years ago together, and the murals just blew me away.
Right. Yeah, I have both sets of my grandparents. Cincinnati was on the way to visit them in Ohio.
Right.
So every time I could drop by, I could. First time I remember seeing it was, as like a tween, looking over and seeing it off the interstate and just begging my parents.
Hey, what
to
is
go.
that?
And it was like seeing, an archaeological ruin because what a train station looked like in 73, 74.
It was in disrepair.
Disrepair and abandoned. It was just. Gobsmacking. I've seen it go through various iterations. They tried to operate it as a shopping mall.
Yeah. And
right now, I think it's got a pretty good future. It's a museum center.
Yeah.
So there are all sorts of kids' museums that are in there and an IMAX theater.
They're reopening places that hadn't been open in the building, right?
Yeah, and they are, and then their tours that are available. I mean, it's a great follow on. I think it's called I Love My Union Terminal. It was a Facebook group,
right?
Where they post sort of theme photographs. So it'll be like, here are the signage of Union Terminal, or here's the seating, the Art Deco seating, because of course everything in the building was bespoke, built for that building,
right?
And they're really bringing back a lot of those furnishings, recovering them. It's just one of the most startling spaces in the United States. It's just spectacular to be in that.
Are you excited about it?
Oh, I love this building. I
Yes,
love
I can
this
tell.
building, and the half dome. It's it might be 200 feet tall. I mean, it's just a spectacular open space. And, I don't know if we did this, but you can talk at one side of the arch and listen at the other. You can pass messages. I don't know if we did that when we were there.
No, I don't think we did.
It's very cool, so that you can, go speak in a normal tone at one side of the arch. And a person will hear it, it'll carry through to the other side. But it's just a great place. So my recommendation is anything that you can, any interaction you can have with the Cincinnati Union Terminal. But
do it.
Going there in person, following them on social media. In my house, I have a number of framed photographs of Union Terminal because to me it is, it is my
Nirvana.
Yeah.
Your happy place.
It is.
That's great. It's a great building, and I can't explain it in the terms that you can, but it is a wonderful thing to see.
Well, and we'll post links for you, obviously.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place. So that's our trip to Cincinnati via the Erector Set, 1981 single. And like we said, if you know anybody from the band or you're in the band, give us a give us a shout out.
I'm gonna. If you go to Cincinnati, you've got to go to Hopple Street to go to the White Castle.
The White Castle.
Yeah, that's sort of the official White Castle in my family's book is the one on Hopple Street.
Okay.
Of I-75.
There you go. Tourist guiding for Cincinnati. So that's it for today. That was our wonderful little ska via Cincinnati, via an independent band, the Erector Set, Inside Out, in 1981. And this is Singles Going Steady 074. Keep skanking and keep architecture in.
Right. Art Deco forever.
Bye now.
Bye.
To learn more about the artists and recordings we just talked about, visit our website at zubrecords.com and click on the Singles Going Steady icon.
You'll also find links to the persons, places, and things we recommend, and much more.
You can find episodes of Singles Going Steady on our website or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Singles Going Steady is brought to you by the power and majesty of Zub Records. Zub Records. Smart sounds for sharp people.